Good evening, everyone. The future of Mississippi's state flag is still up in the air. Our Quentin Smith speaks with legislators about what needs to happen in order for the flag to come to a vote. He joins us live from the state capitol with their reaction. Quentin?
Yeah, Joey, lawmakers I spoke with today say they do want to see the state flag come down by the end of this weekend, but at this time, they're not sure if they'll have enough votes to make that happen. Both the House and the Senate need a 2/3 vote to pass a resolution which would suspend the rules and allow them to take up this issue. Right now, some lawmakers are trying to convince those who are against this matter to jump on board. As the state flag wavers in the wind, so does its fate. In order for lawmakers to vote on whether the flag flies or is furled, they need 81 votes in the House and 34 votes from senators, giving them the authority to make that decision. It's a decision that some have mixed views about.
I don't really want to suspend the rules. I'm in favor of having a vote by the people, and if we can get that done, that would be good.
We got to do a little convincing to certain people because of, that they made commitments when they're in their campaigns not to do certain things, and so we don't want anybody to go back on their word to their people back home, but we got to do what is sometimes best for the overall Mississippi.
Some lawmakers still aren't sure if the numbers will add up.
I'm confident that the House of Representatives has enough votes to move forward, but I'm not sure about the Senate.
But I feel very comfortable saying that if they could bring about a new flag, a majority of members of the House and a majority of members of the Senate would want that to happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean they'll vote that way.
State leaders are still tackling the challenging task of changing both hearts and minds.
I haven't been in on any of that. They haven't contacted me, but I think they know where I stand, so that may be one of the reasons.
It's really tough because, people feel like, hey, I got to get reelected. And I promise these people.
Everything is changing so quickly. I do not know. I don't know procedurally where we are. I don't know where the votes are.
Now, state leaders will meet at the state capitol again bright and early tomorrow morning. I spoke with a few lawmakers, and they say they're still confident that tomorrow will be the big day when all of the votes will be in and a decision will be made on whether or not to take down the state flag. Now, I do want to point out Governor Taylor Reeves did say that if lawmakers are able to get enough votes to suspend the rules to take down the flag, he would not veto that legislation. Now, of course, we're going to continue to stay on top of this story and bring you the latest information as this situation develops. But for now, that's the very latest from here at the state capitol. Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
A death investigation is underway in Columbus. Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton says a woman was found dead inside an apartment this morning. Investigators tell WCBI a neighbor found the person at the Reserve apartment complex and called 911. A small child that was inside the apartment was unharmed. Detectives are investigating the incident. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant has not released any information at this time, including the person's name and a possible cause of death. Lowndes County man is accused of having child pornography. 39-year-old Christopher Lance Howell is charged with exploitation of a child. Deputies received a cyber tip from the Attorney General's office that a person in Lowndes County could have child pornography. Howell was arrested a short time later. As of late this morning, his bond had not been set. Lowndes County man on the run is arrested in West Alabama. 34-year-old Corey Mixon is charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault. He was arrested in Millport, Alabama. The investigation started on June 14th after a person told Lowndes County deputies that they were held against their will on Old Yorkville Road. 36-year-old Kevin Parker was also arrested in the case. He's charged with kidnapping and aggravated domestic assault along with other charges. Meanwhile, a traffic stop in Lowndes County ends with a drug arrest. 42-year-old Anthony Guyton faces drug possession charges, including with intent to distribute. Guyton was pulled over today on Highway 373. Investigators say they found 32 grams of methamphetamine and 24 dosage units of oxycodone. Agents with the Lowndes County Narcotics Task Force was also involved in the investigation. Some North Mississippi law enforcement received life-saving equipment thanks to a fundraising effort. 40 officers were measured for new body armor today. That armor is provided through a benefit 5K called Blessed Are the Peacemakers. The event is organized by Wives of Warriors, a support group for wives of officers. Proceeds from the 5K and a silent auction pay for the gear.
It's a business for us, but it's more than that. It's it's a pet peeve for me, because I think for our guys out there and ladies that are putting their life on the line every day, that it's a safety situation where they can have it on and feel good about it.
I want to help them in that so that they can use their money in other places. Even if it is just one officer a year for a department, that's one officer that they don't have to worry about anymore, and their family doesn't have to worry about if they came home safe that night.
The Blessed Are the Peacemakers 5K is set for September 26th at Fair Park in Tupelo.
A pretty damp and dreary Friday afternoon and evening. A lot of that rainfall now starting to make its way out of the area. We are watching one more round of showers over along I-55. That's going to come through here over the next hour or two. Generally, though, I think we are on a drying trend. That doesn't mean we didn't see rainfall today, though. Take a look at these rainfall totals. Anywhere from under an inch to over an inch in some spots. Eupora, about an inch and a quarter, an inch and a half. In Monroe County and Aberdeen, just under an inch here in the city of Columbus. Overnight tonight, we're going to keep rain chances in here for the next couple of hours. I think by the time we get to midnight, though, most of us will be dry, but more showers are possible by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. I've got details on that in my full forecast in just a bit. Joey.
Another 550 Mississippians test positive for COVID-19. That's the latest numbers from the State Department of Health. In our region, Pontotoc County had the most new cases with 14. Chickasaw had 10. Oktibbeha and Lowndes recorded 9 new cases. Health officials report minor decreases in patients and patients on ventilators and patients in ICU. 75% of the cases do not require hospitalization. Across the state line, Lamar County records its first death. 964 new cases were reported in Alabama today. A local nonprofit makes sure its most vulnerable clients have an adequate supply of food. Prairie Opportunity Community Action Agency gave out food bags to elderly and disabled clients this morning in Macon. Case managers gave out bags of chicken, vegetables, non-perishables, and bottles of water.
Well, today we are actually trying to serve the disabled and elderly folks that are our clients, and because of the SNAP benefit, they don't receive much, so we're trying to assist them as far as their food pantry, trying to help them to stack that up.
The agencies helped around 50 families today. While many food giveaways are happening every week, food uncertainty is a growing concern for many families. Our Stephanie Poole joins us live in the studio with what some groups are doing to help neighbors put food on the table.
That's right, Joey. In the midst of the pandemic, community organizations are coming together to make sure no one goes unnoticed. On Friday, several cars lined the streets for Life Church of Columbus food distribution event. The event coordinator, Dr. Chi Bradford, says nearly 850 meal boxes have been prepared.
Through Society of St. Andrew, they're an organization in Jackson, Mississippi, and so we have a relationship with them, and they have a relationship with farmers, and as they have excess produce or excess food or anything like that, what they'll do is they'll contact Society of St. Andrew, and Society of St. Andrew then in turn gets in touch with food banks, food distribution hubs, things of that nature.
And this is more than just canned goods.
1 week we had gallons of milk. We gave out over 1,000 gallons of milk. Some of the dairy boxes have an assortment of dairy products. Some of the protein boxes have bacon, sausage, ham, chicken julienne, different things of that nature.
However, for families in more rural areas, finding help can be the hard part.
We're dealing with individuals that never have had to ask for assistance.
Renee Sanders is the executive director for United Way in Lowndes and Wcbi County. She says her agency is forming partnerships to help feed other needs during this time of uncertainty.
Wcbi County Diabetes Coalition is stepping up to help assist individuals in Wcbi County with other needs outside of food. Now, food is a big need, but then you also need rent assistance, utility assistance, and things of that need.
Sanders says it's in their mission to lend a helping hand.
We're dealing with families that have always had 2 jobs and had incomes, and now they're furloughed. It's unpredictable. Nobody knows what to expect or how to handle it, how to approach it.
Assistance details through the Noxubee County Diabetes Coalition will be announced at a later date.
Business is back in downtown Fulton and across the area. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
Back, everyone, and Etowah County City is seeing an upswing in commercial development despite recent COVID-19 related shutdowns. WCBI's Allie Martin has more on what is helping drive the economic resurgence in the town.
Several years ago, downtown Fulton had a lot of empty buildings. Much of the commercial development had left, but recently there's been a revitalization of sorts, and it's led mostly by locals who want to see the area prosper.
We wanted to give a nod to history. We wanted to give a nod to the growth of Fulton.
Brittany Moore and her husband Corey purchased the old Gaither building on Fulton's town square. Original plans called for their boutique, Chasing Portland, to occupy all of the space, but other vendors now rent some of the space at the historic building as sort of a retail business incubator.
Hopefully those businesses can grow large enough to fill some of our empty buildings and keep growing in Etowah County.
Chasing Portland was open for 1 week before COVID-19 related shutdowns took effect. But since those restrictions were lifted, business has been booming.
When we opened the doors, everybody was ready to go. Downtown has been hustling and bustling, ready to get in here.
Just northeast of the square, Jimmy Wilson put new life into an old gas station and auto parts store when he opened Porch Swing Pickings. He sells farmhouse decor and artificial flowers. He also rents space to vendors who sell everything from food, arts and crafts, and antiques. Wilson is glad many of the old landmarks are homes to new businesses.
I kept coming by and seeing this building, and it was pretty much an eyesore. When we were coming into town, it was like the gateway of Fulton. I wanted to do something that would clean it up and bring more people in, so I think we've succeeded in that.
Several miles away, the lunch rush is in full swing at Guy's Place. Jason Beecham took over the restaurant earlier this year. The setting on Midway Marina provides a unique atmosphere for lunch and dinner. Beecham says people support local businesses because those businesses give back to the community.
People really appreciate a local business, and we have great support and love from our community. And we try to give that back in many ways as well. For instance, when the schools, for a brief period, weren't giving lunches to the kids who may have relied on that every day during school, we actually gave away almost around 200 school lunches to kids.
The owner of Guy's Place on the Water says he expects business to continue picking up throughout the summer with traffic from the marina and people coming in from the town and surrounding areas. In Fulton, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Owners at Porch Swing Pickings says sales this past May broke all previous records for the same month over a 3-year period. All right, a bit wet out there. Good day to be a duck.
Just a little bit. A great day to be a duck in the lake and not have to worry about getting the umbrella and the rain jacket like I did coming into work
Exactly.
today.
We all got soaked.
Yeah, I'm thinking the weekend's going to be a little bit on the drier side.
All right.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let me show you what we're tracking here. Partly cloudy for the most part. Again, a pop-up shower or storm possible through the weekend. I'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Otherwise, staying warm and humid. I've got more details on all of this and my full forecast on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
A First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Well, the rain helping to keep us much cooler than normal through the day today. Our average high for this time of year in late June is 91. A lot of us today struggled to get out of the 70s, though, thanks to that ongoing rainfall. We did manage to squeak out 180-degree temperature. That was down in DeKalb and Kemper County. The rest of us, though, managed to get into the mid and upper 70s, and that is where we remain as we get into the 6 o'clock hour. Right now in Louisville, no rain falling, just a little bit of drizzle and some low-hanging clouds there, and that's really the case across much of the area. A lot of the more steady rain has started to move off to the east into Alabama. We do have one more round of showers that we're going to have to deal with. That right now just coming into Calhoun County, Webster County, along I-55. That's going to be pushing through the area over the next couple of hours. So one more round of showers through the next couple of hours, and then generally I think the overnight hours are going to be more on the dry side. 69 for the low. Again, showers for the next couple of hours, and then the chance by the time you wake up tomorrow morning for maybe a little bit more in the way of shower activity. Hey, if you're planning on grilling this weekend, maybe your grill looking something like this, certainly making me hungry here in the studio. I think the weather going to be decent for this weekend. We're going to keep the chance in for an isolated shower or a pop-up storm for Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, though, a mix of some sunshine and clouds, and most of us hopefully staying dry. I think better chances for rain tomorrow, especially by the time you wake up, as I mentioned. Let me time this all out for you on Futurecast, a little bit of a complicated forecast. Here's what we're thinking. Waking up tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., notice there are some showers out there, maybe even some downpours. But by the time you get into your day, I think by 9 or 10 o'clock, a lot of us are going to be drying out. Still some showers around, and the cloud cover hanging on at least until the afternoon hours. By 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, notice we get some more sunshine in here. Most of the rain has exited the area, but still a pop-up shower or two possible somewhere in the area tomorrow. So while I'm thinking most of us will be dry, with even a little bit of sunshine by the afternoon, there will be a chance for a shower or storm. Very isolated chance tomorrow. Clouds build back in here by Sunday morning, and then we kind of rinse and repeat all over again. Not everybody going to see rain on Sunday. In fact, most of us won't, but the chance will be there for an isolated shower, especially for Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Better rain chances, though, as we get to the middle and end of the week. That's where we increase up to a 40 to 50% chance of rain. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. The next 3 days, the chance is there for an isolated shower, but as I mentioned, better rain chances here Tuesday into Friday. High temperatures staying close to 90, overnight lows in the 70s.
All right, TCPS and its high-flying offense will be back and better than ever in 2020. Our preview with the Eagles next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Stop number 5 on the high school football tour takes us to Belden, Mississippi, previewing the TCPS Eagles. After reaching the postseason for the 3rd straight year, just getting there isn't enough for the Eagles. A talented team returns and has its sights set on making a deep postseason run.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
We're going to go get a ring.
The TCPS Eagles look to soar over the competition as they head into the 2020 season. Head coach Sean Holliday brings back an experienced bunch featuring 20 seniors who all believe this year is their year.
My kids have really been working hard on their own, and it showed when we were able to start getting back together a couple of weeks ago. So this year, you know, we made it to the playoffs last year. This year, we're hoping to get in and win a few games in the playoffs.
It's probably be like the best year I've had so far, or since I've been here. So it should be a really great year.
Last season, the Eagles fell short against some of the top teams in the division, but believe the experience they gained will take their game to new heights.
I'm going to depend on that experience, that leadership, and those guys that have been in those battles, that hopefully this year that'll help us get through those tough games.
Leading the flock is a dynamic duo of Kai Holliday and Noah Foster. Holliday had just shy of 4,700 total yards last season and 58 total TDs. Foster hauled in 19 of those touchdown passes. The two created their own field chemistry to their off-field friendship.
We've been playing baseball since we were like 5, so we really got great chemistry. And last year it was football, it just clicked just like that, so it should click again this year.
We've been best friends since we was 9 years old, playing baseball and stuff together, and we was always throwing the ball in the backyard, so I already know what he gonna do when he running the route, and he know where I'm gonna throw it.
When it's crunch time, the Eagles know they can turn to Kai to make a big play.
When he gets the ball, you know something's gonna happen. Like when he has the ball, it's gonna happen no matter what.
He hates to lose more than he loves to win. You know, and when you've got a senior that's willing to do whatever it takes for the team, the rest of the team falls and they follow that.
Coach Holliday believes that mentality is a staple of the team and will ultimately pay off.
Hard work turns about success.
TCPS kicks off the season on the road against Tishomingo County August 21st. Reporting in Tupelo, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Tupelo Christian Preparatory School is sponsored by Zip Scripts in Tupelo.
Taking a look at the tour stops for this weekend, Okolona and French Camp for your Saturday and Sunday. We start next week with Hamilton, Vardaman, and sticking with 1A schools with Myrtle and Baldwin before jumping into 2A at the end of next week, East Union, Manatachee, and Bruce. Major League Baseball clubs continue to lock up their draft picks from earlier this month. Former Ole Miss Rebel and Mississippi State commit officially signed to the big leagues. Mississippi State commit Austin Hendrick won't be making it to Starkville. The 12th overall pick signing with the Cincinnati Reds on a $4 million contract. And Tyler Keenan signing with the Seattle Mariners officially. He was the 107th overall pick in the 2020 MLB draft in round 4. That's it for sports. We'll have last secure forecast next.
Well, compared to today, the weekend overall not looking too bad. We're going to monitor the chance for an isolated shower or storm for the next several days. Better chances for rain and storms going to come in here Tuesday through the end of the week. Highs staying right around 90 with overnight lows in the 70s. So, Joey, as I mentioned, probably a good idea to just keep the umbrella handy. That way you can't get mad at us if it rains.
We were begging for rain. It's here.
And we got it. Here it is.
No doubt. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Trevor. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.